So members, we have started. Can you hear me well? Tell me if you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, last time we had started on this topic, meaning of computer hardware. I'm sure you have been going through it. Kyle has submitted some of the activities within this course, computer hardware. He named this table very well and submitted for marking. Let's also do the same. We can continue submitting these activities and the messages. So today, we want to look at assembling a computer hardware and some of the hardware parts. I'm going to share a presentation which I prepared for you. Then later, I will send it to you. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, I can.
Let me reshare it if you can. Okay, that is my presentation. Now I want you to see how I made this presentation so that when you are also going to make a presentation, I need you also to make a multimedia presentation. So we are looking at computer hardware briefly. Then I will task you to go ahead and present those computer hardware components, which I will not mention here. Okay, so from there, can we start mentioning what we can see here? What do you see here? Tell us what you are seeing here on this display. You've seen where I've clicked, that is an audio within this presentation. Raise up your hand and you mention at least 3 of what you are seeing here. Yes, Kyle?
Yes.
Kyle? What can you see?
Number 5, I see a microphone.
Good.
Number 10, I see a flat screen.
Good.
And number 2, it looks like a Bluetooth mouse.
Thank you. Laura?
Number 4, I can see a monitor.
Good.
Number 8, I can see compact discs. Number 7, I can see a printing machine.
It's called a printer. Okay. Esther? Esther? Esther?
Yes.
What can you see on the display?
Number 1, I can see a keyboard.
Yes. Christabel. Christabel? What can you see? We are not hearing you. It seems Esther and Christabel have connectivity issues. Let's proceed. Now, next on our slide, we are going to basically look at computer hardware. Let me request Kyle to read for us. Take it on, Kyle.
Okay. By definition, computer hardware are physical, tangible parts of a computer. Components of a computer hardware: 1, input hardware; 2, processing hardware; 3, output hardware; and 4, storage hardware.
Okay, so if you can now turn on this sound, you can hear.
By definition, computer hardware are physical, tangible parts of a computer. As we've seen from above,
So I will need some of you to go and generate such. Make a PowerPoint presentation, incorporate it with the audio so that you are making a multimedia presentation. So now, up here, we have looked at categories: input, processing, and output. Processing, output, and storage. Then let's look at each. Sorry. When we talk of input hardware, these are the ones that enter or feed data into a computer. And examples are, we talked of a keyboard, use it to feed data into the computer by pressing its keys. Mouse, use it to control the moving cursor on the screen, thus issuing commands. Then a scanner captures information from paper, which are then converted into the digital form that can be stored on the disk, e.g. images. That is it. Keyboard, mouse, and scanner. Next slide is for Laura. Talk about those ones.
Input hardware continuation. Joystick. The function of joystick is similar to that of a mouse. It is mainly used in computer-aided designing, CAD, and playing computer games. Trackball. Trackball is mostly used in notebook or laptop computer instead of a mouse. Microphone. Microphone is used to input sound that is then stored in digital form.
Okay, this activity is for both of us. Part A. What do you think is on A? You can raise up your hand. What do you see, or what do you think A is? Okay, if we are not ready, I will share this presentation to you on the side. Then you search for them, and then you bring clear answers. Is that okay?
Yes.
That's good, because this is ours. Okay, let's continue to next. Now, processing hardware. If we talk of processing hardware, we are basically looking at the CPU, call it the central processing unit of the computer. Esther, is your background okay now?
No.
You can read for us.
Processing hardware. This is majorly done by the central processing unit, CPU, that acts as the brain of the computer. It is responsible for transforming data into information. The CPU is located in the system unit as shown in this diagram. This is how the CPU looks like.
Yes, so what we see on the left side here is a system case. And so the CPU is inside and it looks like this. When you open it, that's how the CPU looks like. Then we continue. We look at now computer hardware. Let me give it to Kyle. Take it on.
Computer hardware. Output hardware are the devices used to give/display out information. Examples are monitor, printer, and speakers. The monitor. This is used for displaying information in a soft copy form, e.g. work on screen. Printer. This is used to give out hard copy input, e.g. on sorry, I was just saying, e.g. on paper. And speakers. These are used to give out information in a soft copy form, that is sound.
Laura? Storage?
Storage devices. Storage devices are used to store information temporarily and permanently for future use. Examples are hard disk, flash disks, compact disk.
Okay, thank you. Do we know these ones?
Yes, I do.
So a hard disk, this one, is found inside the system unit. It's found within your laptop there. You have a hard disk. Flash disks, you know, flashes. Then CD, those are storage devices. Okay. Then, in conclusion, we are saying that a computer is made up of several components and each plays an important role. For example, input devices for entering data, storage devices for storing information, processing devices for processing operations. For example, transforming data into information. Then storage devices for displaying or giving out information in either soft copy or hard copy form. Now, if we can continue with the work on the site, here I was trying to summarize for you the device and the category it belongs. Are we together? Kyra, are you getting that in depth today?
Yes.
Yes, so I'm going to share that presentation with you. So here we are trying to look at parts of the computers, and we have identified the category they belong, devices and category. Now, we want to look at how to assemble a computer system. And before we look at assembling a computer system, I want us to identify what we are seeing here. What do we see here? You can raise up your hand and identify some of these devices. Yes, Kyle? Kyle, unmute and speak.
Yes. Right there in the middle of the screen.
I want us to identify
Right there in
what
the
we are
middle.
seeing here. What do we see here? Come again.
They're
Okay.
saying right here in the middle of the screen,
Can
I
raise up
see
your
a
hand and
monitor.
identify some of these devices. Okay.
And right there, I see a keyboard.
That's nice. Laura. Laura, what can you see?
I can see a mouse, a monitor, a socket, a keyboard, and some cables.
Okay, one of the cables, this one, is called a VGA cable, video graphic array cable. This one is the HDMI cable. These ones are power cables. They are power cables. Even this one is a power cable. Okay, so we are going to see a video on how we can assemble a computer. And then I think from there, we shall say, we have done something for today as far as computer hardware is concerned. I'm sharing the
Are you having
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
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 trouble putting your computer together? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Don't worry. Take a deep breath. We're going to show you, step by step, how to set up a desktop computer. First, unpack everything from the box and remove any plastic covering or protective tape. Think about where you want your workspace to go and how you want to arrange the different components before you start plugging things in. Next, let's connect the monitor. If you have an all-in-one computer where everything is built in, for example, an iMac, you can skip this step. Otherwise, locate your monitor cable. Newer monitors often use HDMI or USB-C connections, while older monitors may use VGA, DVI, or another type of connection. It just depends. Now find the monitor port on the back of your computer case and plug the cable in. Most cables are designed to fit a certain way, so if it's not working, don't force it. When you're done, connect the other end to your monitor. Now it's time to plug in your keyboard and mouse. If they're wired, they most likely have a USB connector, so you can use any of the ports you see here. You could also plug your mouse into the USB port on your keyboard if it has one. If you have a wireless mouse or keyboard, it's going to work a little differently. Some wireless devices connect using technology that's built into your computer, while others need an adapter. You'll also need to pair the device with your computer before you can use it. You may want to read the instructions that came with your wireless device to learn more about pairing. At this point, you can plug in your speakers or headphones.
So when we talk of the device, the documents that came with your devices, how did we call them in the last chapter? How did we call those gadgets? Kyle, your hand is up.
Hardware.
No. Let me rewind a bit. Maybe you hear it very well. Here, I think. Let's wait there, and then you can hear him very well.
Computer before you can use it. You may want to read the instructions that came with your wireless device to learn more about pairing. At this point, you can plug in your speakers or headphones.
The instructions, how did we call it? Kyle, unmute.
Sorry, teacher. I forgot to put down the hand.
We called them user manuals or user guides, isn't it? The ones I was telling you to summarize.
Yes.
Yep.
If it uses a typical audio plug, look for the green audio port on the front or back of your computer case. However, some speakers, headphones, and microphones use USB connectors. Finally, it's time to connect the power supply cables and plug the computer in. You should have two cables. One goes with your monitor, and the other plugs into the back of your computer case. Now plug both cables into a power outlet. We recommend using a surge protector to keep your equipment safe in the event of a power surge. When you're ready, plug the surge protector into a regular outlet. If it has a power switch, you may need to switch it on. That's all there is to it. Now take a minute to make sure you're happy with your workspace. Then, turn your computer on.
Hey, how was that?
Just good.
Okay, Laura, in case they buy a new computer and present it to you, are you able to connect it?
Yes.
Esther, can you connect that new computer?
Yes.
That's wonderful. Then for Christabel. Christabel? Christabel, I need to hear from you. Kyle, do you have any questions so far? No. Laura, do you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay. Did you see the message I sent in the morning on our site?
Yes. Yo.
Carrie, you got it?
Yes.
Okay, and now I'm going to send assignment right now. And I'm going to send to whoever is in senior one, because I'm sure all of us are doing. All of us are doing all of us do ICT. So I'm composing the question. So I'm going to share my screen. Some of us haven't submitted their assignments. I think they still have challenges. So when I go to messages, so this is the message I sent to all of you. You see, all of you received the message. And Kai, were you the one asking that you can't find the meeting on the site?
Yes, but that was earlier.
That was earlier, yes. So let me send an activity here. Hello, members. You can see my screen. And assignment below. Okay, so I've pasted the assignment there. And then let me search for members, and then I post them. Christabel, I come here, I search for Christabel. I select Christabel. I look for Laura. Paste Laura. All of us will receive this activity, and we submit. Rebecca is not here, but must receive the work because we shall share the recording. Who else? Key Isaac. Okay, can I hear from the lessons you learned from today's lesson? My lessons are always brief, but to the point. Kyle, what did you learn from today? Kyle? Esther, what did you learn from today? Can you hear me, members? We can't hear me? So subject is assignment and notes. So I'm going to attach notes here as like I'm going to attach the slides we have used today. So find them. I'm trying to save them on the PC. Presentation about computer hardware. Okay, so here I attach and select the file. Okay, from desktop, presentation about computer hardware. Okay. So hopefully it has attached. And I send the message. So for today's lesson, I'm done. We have covered computer hardware, assembling a computer, and I've given you an assignment. The assignment says, you have been provided with the following computer hardware, parts and other electronic accessories, AC, main socket outlet, interruptible power supply, UPS, system unit power cables, etc., etc. Describe how they can be assembled to make a complete functioning computer. Outline the logical order of switching on the computer system assembled in A above. Okay, so take your time, complete the assignment and submit it anytime from now. Is that okay? Is that okay, members? Laura, you get the point?
Yes.
Esther?
Yes.
Christabel? Okay, in the chat, Kyle says yes. Go relax a bit. We shall meet at exactly 12 for an orientation meeting. Bye-bye.